Madam Secretary, I have watched you today, and I've watched you being eviscerated over in the House. Calls for your resignation, not your head, but your resignation have emanated from this distinguished panel. And it all makes me want to just say some things. Number one, I attach some importance to the fact that this bill, which was crafted, a lot of it in the Finance Committee, a lot of it out, but all open and in public, that when it came to the floor, there was not one single Republican who voted for the plan. This was 2 years ago, maybe a little bit more. And I'm trying to ask myself, how could that be possible? Senator Isaacson was asking about rural Georgia, as I would ask about rural West Virginia. And last Saturday, I was at a rural health center in a very isolated part of West Virginia. And it just casually occurred to me that there's about $10 billion in the bill to create about 1,000 new rural health centers all across America. Does anybody know that? I don't think in West Virginia, and I don't think generally. And I'm stunned by the prospect of, let's say, 100 million people being uninsured or underinsured, that a president makes a couple statements that perhaps he shouldn't have made, and then that becomes the whole argument. All the letters, you know, I was promised this, I was promised that. And I'm trying to think of all the benefits that come from this. And I work very, as the chairman knows, I work very, very closely with him and others on this bill in the Finance Committee to produce it. And I think it's a magnificent work. My people in West Virginia don't necessarily share that view right now because I think they have the problem that so many others have, that they simply don't know what's in the bill, and because of the absolutely maniacal, really admirable, but maniacal Republican attack machine, including all the television. I mean, this has to be the worst thing that ever happened to America. And then I look at the bill and I said, you know, this, as you said, we're the only country that doesn't do something like this, and we've done it very well, and that people are going to get insurance, and that the underinsured are going to get insurance. And actually, it's only, I think, what was it, 80% of consumers change their plans every 2 years. You actually indicated it might be a little bit more than that. The Republicans are talking about provider shock, saying people won't be able to keep their doctors, an argument which in many cases is almost comical in its being so far-fetched when you consider that the Affordable Care Act is designed to help people who did not have health insurance and therefore, almost by definition, did not have any regular primary care physician. But taking every single possible dark attack, but taking two statements, taking the website, which is frustrating to all of us. But if there's anything that can be worked out, it certainly would be the website. That's a technology matter, and that will happen. I'm not for delaying, unless they can't fix it in time, in which case then I think maybe a penalty or something should be lifted. But I'm incredibly proud of the bill. And I'm incredibly proud of you and Marilyn Tarrant, you know, going before committees and getting eviscerated, but standing your ground and knowing exactly what you've done, far more than most of us, and certainly far more than most of those who are viciously making a political attack. That's risen in the last 5 years, along with the Tea Party and with the Koch brothers and all the rest of it. And you can really sour people on multiple television ads. It's not that hard to do. Scare people, sour people, give people a chance to, like, you know, I want your resignation, hand it in today. Those things are so totally unrelated to the tragedy of underinsured or uninsured Americans, which this bill sets out to successfully, over a period of years, actually solve their problems. People never talk about tax credits. businesses, a little small business, they keep, you know, people are saying that they're desperate about it, and the fact of the matter is that, you know, they get 35% of their tax credit of the premium paid by tax credit in the first year, and after that, I think it's 50% of the premium on a permanent basis. You never hear that. You never hear that. So this is not so much a question, but a statement of sadness about the ability of the upper body, the so-called the cooling body with the cup and the saucer, and that sort of routine, that we can be so maniacally political that we just seek to destroy and forget the agony that people are going through, which this bill will cure.